So they probably put forward to CD Projekt Red 10 or 15 actors who they thought would be good for Geralt. And then one by one, we were brought into the studio to audition in person. So that's what I did. I went in and I auditioned. No, in London.
Oh yeah,
so all the English recording was done in London. Yeah, but Boris from CD Projekt Red, he's one of the main translators from Polish into English, and he's a writer as well. He came over for the audition, and I just remember being in the studio with him, and he kept saying, "Right, you get your voice lower, no emotion at all." And it was a bit of a weird one because as an actor, that's what we deal in. Our whole thing is about human emotion. So we just kept trying for different things. I was probably in the booth for about 15 minutes, which is pretty normal for an audition. And eventually, what Boris said to me, he said, "Doug, think about it like, imagine Clint Eastwood as this character. Clint Eastwood from the Dirty Harry films." Yeah. So, if you can imagine, and this is Geralt, of course, but Dirty Harry's line, "Go ahead, punk. Make my day."
Do you feel lucky?
Yeah, you feel lucky, punk? Go ahead. I bet you're asking yourself, how many shots did he take? Whatever that line is, Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of what I aimed for. And they liked it, so they went with it.
Wow, that's great. And come to think about it, saying that less emotion. And this character is so kind of relatable, and you kind of feel emotion still. And that's a very tricky thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in the books, he's not described as being emotionless. He's described more as having been deeply affected by the Trial of the Grasses. Oh. And the Trial of the Grasses does strip Witchers of some emotion. But I don't think it's even that. I think it's just that they learn to suppress emotion.
Yeah.
Because they have to. So that's how I define it. That's how I describe it. But I've just been rereading Blood of Elves. And there's a passage in there that actually does talk about Geralt's emotional life. And it talks about how he has one. It's Triss, thinking about Geralt and how she can see and feel his emotions coming through despite the stony exterior. So it was never that Geralt had no emotions whatsoever. It's just that he suppresses them like all, no, not all, but that's a generality, but like a lot of men do.
Yeah.
But he even more so.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. And also, I always kind of, if the writers gave me even a little teeny bit of emotional rope to grab onto, I grabbed on. So Geralt is never completely emotionless. He does have emotions. It's just how much he shows at any given time is really the question.